In the picture, you see Eugene Boachi entry, Kennedy Aggyapong, Afenyo Markin, lady no, okay, Obani, former MP, me say former, former Kumasi Mayor, Mama Patricia PJ, Ewoho, na Bema no Jina say any where, or so a woman to ba Ubehu, Omunina, Omone, Cynthia Morrison, extra picture. What it means, we don't know. The entity, though, and they say, we withdrawn the decision to want to go as an independent candidate. But I said the the prima facie evidence, I bet you say indeed that decision has been made. A letter or betro the Electoral Commission of Ghana. The train said in Yoma ABC ACO very interesting development in Ghana's parliament. The whole of today. No, there is a bone of contention, and unfortunately, Speaker making any comment about that. He only said, Omu need the numbers to form a quorum for decision making.
Yes.
Yen himself from the case of Justice Abdullah as Attorney General.
Yes.
The Supreme Court was clear in explaining 104, Article 104 of the Constitution, say to make a decision in Parliament, no, ube here at least say 275 and awosha ube here 137 people. Now, wait to me, Eddie, make a decision.
About 137.5.
0.5, of course.
And it can be 137.5. It's about technically 138.
But I won't say Nipa no, Nipa half. I think the Supreme Court discusses, and I think they settled on 137 eventually. You know, so unyas a number now, you can take decisions. And this is here, no. Speaker Carr say omuni numbers to take decisions, no.
Abusuya mo bibia kwa ba fambra kwa mjenti TV so o YouTube so ase abusuya ya ba ensama horo a ekoso e wo Ghana ha se no ana ya boabo bia no e ba besomo message so daruma o de be chem se o hwe video no na matwa wo so and ye bewi ni asa kwa enjoy the full story wo ba betie ensam ni nyina in fact de ekoso bia me de ba besomo e wo ha se message so daruma ene de din kan ana hwe me ana so ta hwe na subscribe ya wadarum buni de kwa so no abo subscribe button so we are feel free so be che wadwen or comment section ho e ho ye wo dia Nemum, I don't have a comment in what's Eddie Amami. Abusia, Mempesem Casabetens, Yanko, Yankuti, and Semno, and Famra.
The majority leadership to get us information, they would not allow us. But Cynthia Morrison was in Parliament, no majority office. In fact, Peter Yechegu or social media. That is the majority leader.
Where Afenyo Markin office, no.
Yes. And that is where he met, he spoke with Kennedy Aggyapong and other persons. They tried to have some back and forth on that. And so that is the information we are getting. But we have no confirmation yet.
But that confirmation will come when she sent an official letter to the Electoral Commission. So I withdraw the decision. But if these pictures are anything to go by, it's been a while we saw her in such hearty moment with the colleagues in Parliament, especially the majority leader and Honorable Kennedy Aggyapong. In the picture, you see Eugene Boachi entry, Kennedy Aggyapong, Afenyo Markin, lady no, okay. Obani, former MP, me say former Kumasi Mayor, Mama Patricia PJ, Ewoho. Na Bema no Jina say any where, or so a woman to ba Ubehu, Omunina, Omone, Cynthia Morrison, extra picture. What it means, we don't know. The entity, though, and they say, we withdrawn the decision to want to go as an independent candidate. But I said the the prima facie evidence, I bet you say indeed that decision has been made. A letter or betro the Electoral Commission of Ghana. The train said in Yoma ABC ACO very interesting development in Ghana's parliament. The whole of today. No, there is a bone of contention, and unfortunately, Speaker making any comment about that. He only said, Omu need the numbers to form a quorum for decision making.
Yes.
Yen himself from the case of Justice Abdullah as Attorney General.
Yes.
The Supreme Court was clear in explaining 104, Article 104 of the Constitution, say to make a decision in Parliament, no, ube here at least say 275 and awosha ube here 137 people. na wetimi e dey make a decision.
About 137.5.
0.5, of course.
And it can be 137.5. It's a technically 138.
But won't say nipa no untimi nya nipa half. I think the Supreme Court discusses and I think they settled on 137 eventually, you know. So unya sa number na you can take decisions. And this is here no Speaker Carr say omuni numbers to take decisions, no? Is it half of 271 and a half of 275? And the speaker can refer to. Say or refer to 275. Not just now he acknowledges say the status quo
it remains.
Right. So refer to 271. Just no disregard the Supreme Court decision.
And then and if this analysis you've done is anything to go, it will mean that the speaker now acknowledges that the order his hand has been stayed. That there's currently 275 MPs, and that is why they cannot be half. At least half of all MPs, 137, for the House to proceed to do business. But these are questions the Speaker of Parliament himself would have to answer because he left a lot of things very vague, for obvious reasons, so that it's left for interpretation in terms of what other persons.
And one other thing, so they say was even though na minority for no akwatena majority side, led by Dr. Casey Lato-Forson. Speaker make comment be say why are they sitting there and moving through on call more original place or make comment be sir?
He did not. In fact, one would say maybe he took parliamentary notice, but he did not say anything about that. He just came in, they said the prayers, they said the pledge, and then he zoomed right into his official formal communication to the House. And so he did not say anything about majority, minority, why are these people. In fact, he did not even allude to the majority MPs who have decided to boycott sitting as of this moment. He did not even allude to them. Although just 10-15 minutes prior to that, he had met Alexander Afenyo-Markin and his leadership. They had had a conversation. And in fact, the kind of indication we are getting in that meeting was that the Speaker of Parliament said he cannot tell MPs to go and sit here or there. And
information when you're from some meeting.
In fact, and that was part of the reason why the majority MP said, we will not come and sit on the minority side, as that will be a tacit endorsement or acknowledgement that we have become the minority. So because of that, they also left. And that is the information I'm getting from some highly placed sources and some persons who were in that meeting. So he just zoomed in and then did this analysis on the fact that they did not have a quorum to take decisions. And then he said that on the basis of that, he's adjourning Parliament indefinitely. And this particular meeting, he has suspended it, adjourned the House indefinitely. It says there will continue to be talks. When there's any agreement and the House will have to come back, they will do so. It will mean that a lot of key government business, or 2 Supreme Court judges, their fate is now unknown.
And all the bills that would be affected. I know that there are some LIs and some bills as well now by contemplate, including even the free SHS bill. It means now a bill say they are likely to be affected. But I'm present way. Say as we speak, do you know? Say speakers were instructing the lawyers. Say share if they can also set aside the decision of the Supreme Court.
In fact, that was the indication we have been getting since yesterday. As of 3 p.m. yesterday, we had an indication that lawyers of the Speaker were at the registry at the Supreme Court trying to file. And then at some point, they were asked to stop by the Speaker himself that they should not file. In fact, this morning as well, an NDC MP, in fact, Dr. Dominic Ayine told the Sister Media House that lawyers for the Speaker, Thaddeus Sori and his firm, were at the Supreme Court trying to file to stay the execution of that order of the Supreme Court. And they were trying to get that done. But we can confirm that as of now, no process has been filed by the Speaker or his lawyers. It will mean that the 7 days the Supreme Court gave them to file their statement of case in relation to substantive matter is counting up until Thursday. Then that will kick in, and then next week they would have to file the memorandum of issues, and then the case will have to be dealt with. But as of now, we can confirm say Speaker and the lawyers and file any application in court. They have not filed any process at all as regards to the order that the court made.
And meaning say if they don't file any such processor, and also would be an acknowledgement of
that order
the order from the Supreme Court. Wow, and that's really interesting. As we speak, the bills and LIs a buying business a best suffer from this. What do we know?
Starting with the LI, the Supreme Court were hoping to lay an LI. It will guard the adjudication of presidential and parliamentary petitions.
Okay.
And we know that when it comes to LI, they would have to go through 21
sitting days.
As we speak, it's almost looking uncertain. Unless Parliament decides when they come back, whatever time they come back, to do a lot of sacrifice and sit to get that LI to mature. So there is that. There's another LI that the Electoral Commission wanted to also lay as regards to the 7th December election. That is also now on ice. When you come to bills, there's the free SHS bill. There is the EPA bill, a very key in terms of the IMF conditionality that was set for us. That has been reaffirmed several times by the majority leadership. Then there is the matter of LI 2462 or Mampinika so revoke. And we expected that it would be revoked last week.
The amount for mining in forest reserves.
Yes. They wanted to revoke it, but the whole of last week there was a lot of political issues. That LI did never come up to the floor, even though the AG had written to the clerk of parliament said the LI was ready and they were ready to do business, but it wasn't late. The expectation was that this week they would do something on it. That is also not going to happen because of the current suspension of the House. So when you look at some of those bills, those are the key ones. But there's also $250 million.
$250 million.
That is the Ghana Financial Stability Project. $250 million.
I was on Parliament
approved. That is also on ice now. There's also a matter of about $350 million worth of tax waivers, and also is currently on ice. That is also not being dealt with. And in fact, the majority side have been trying to get that through, but because they have not even gotten some of their members to support it, that is why they have been struggling. That is also on ice. And then finally, the matter of the Supreme Court nominees, 2 of them who were nominated by the president, the appointment committee have vetted them. The report, we understand, is ready, but because of this, the report has not even been laid. And then finally, the vote on appropriation, the budget for 2024, just the first quarter of next year, so that when the substantive budget, but for the first quarter, the finance minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, was expected to come at the start of November to present a budget, the vote in lieu of appropriation for 2025.